Looking back on American manufacturing, us at Sikorsky were ably represented by Table 18 in the back. We like to think that we're a fairly old company, and we've been around for a long time. We've been around since 1925. And so when I was doing a little research on Sargent, reading the history of the company, and this company, started in 1810. The roots go back as far as 1810. That's amazing to me. So, that you were selling, locks and hardware, back at that point is just truly amazing. They moved to New Haven in 1864 in the middle of the Civil War. It was still a long time ago, 150 years ago. Survived 2 wars. The thing that I found interesting was, the factory was turned around to, support the war efforts at that time, and where I think 40% of the workforce at that time were women, supporting the war efforts. So that's, it's really outstanding. They've undergone, a lot of leadership changes over the years, and now they're under the ASSA ABLOY umbrella. In fact, actually, there was a point in time where Walter Kitty, was the owner of that, and that's now a United Technologies company. So we do have a connection with, with UTC. So along with this extensive legacy, we've seen how Sargent handles itself as a company in their business structure, their integrity, the way they treat their employees. So, they've survived a lot of upturns and downturns and market pressures. They continue to innovate today with products, creating value for the customer. So, and also good middle-class jobs as well. So, and they also have a very strong community presence. So, very much like Sikorsky Aircraft, and so we are truly honored to be able to induct you guys in tonight.
Safety, security, community, heritage. Perhaps no other company in New Haven's manufacturing history more strongly embodies these 4 traits. Founded by Joseph Sargent and his brothers in 1810, the company that became synonymous with peace of mind began as a wholesale hardware company in New York City, and shortly after moved into manufacturing in Connecticut.
I plan to develop not only a large and important business, but progressive ideas and factory methods and a personal sense of civic consciousness as well,
said Sargent, and boy did he deliver. Moving their operation to New Haven in 1864, the company ramped up production. By 1914, they were one of the largest hardware manufacturers in the country. During World Wars I and II, much of the plant's production capacity was converted from hardware manufacturing to the production of items needed for the war effort. As men went off to fight the wars, women began staffing factories like Sargent in greater numbers as a means of helping with the war effort and to help support their families. By the time World War II ended, nearly 40% of Sargent's jobs were held by women. Community was key to Sargent. Throughout their history, there are stories of the close bonds between the workers, the owners, factory managers, and the citizens of New Haven. The post-war era for Sargent was marked by an effort to narrow the company's product offerings. Always known as a high-quality manufacturer of locks and door-related mechanisms, the decision was reached by the Sargent family to concentrate more on that niche. This focus gave rise to the development of many lock-related engineering firsts, like the development of the Sargent Kiso security system. This product, still in strong demand today 50 years later, marked the first improvement in pin tumbler lock construction in more than 100 years. The Kiso system was designed to have 12 pins coming in at 3 sides of the key, compared to conventional 6 pins coming in from only the top. The design made it pick and drill resistant. The technology also made a much stronger key. Keys and cylinders were registered, making it harder to duplicate without authorized permission. The company had conquered the security industry. In 1972, the family sold Sargent to Walker Kidd & Company. In 1994, ASSA ABLOY, the Swedish security company that is the largest global seller of locks and the leader of indoor opening solutions, purchased Sargent to round out their offerings. In 1810, Joseph Sargent promised to make a better lock, improve factory processes, and be a leader in the community. More than 200 years later, his vision resonates every time a dad or mom tuck their children into bed,
Good night.
turn the bolt of a Sargent lock in the front door, and turn out the lights.
It is with great pleasure that I formally induct Sargent Manufacturing Company into the American Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
I want to take a moment to thank the Housatonic Community College Foundation and the American Manufacturing Hall of Fame for the honor that they're bestowing upon Sargent Manufacturing. And I must say that when I started my career in manufacturing over 30 years ago, actually with Sikorsky Aircraft, I've always taken a lot of great pride in working in manufacturing, and it just seems almost surreal to me to be standing here 30 plus years later, having been general manager at Sargent for only since 2011, but to be working for a company that's been inducted into the American Manufacturing Hall of Fame. I also want to make a point just to recognize and thank a couple of folks. One of the folks here representing Sargent and Assa Abloy, we have two tables, but we have our company group president, Martin Huddart, is with us, and he does a lot of good things helping Sargent to stay at the forefront of innovation. And John kind of stole a little bit of my thunder earlier. Ray Pompano, our union local president, who has been with Sargent for over 50 years, big part of the family there. And one of the things that we take a lot of pride in is that there are still, we talked about how Sargent's roots are back to the early 1800s, but the fact of the matter is there's still several hundred of us up the road in New Haven churning out locks and exit devices every day, and due to a lot of hard work and cooperation between all of us. So thank you very much.